What is generative AI part 3? Generative AI is a type of artificial intelligence that creates new content based on what it has learned from existing content. The process of learning from existing content is called training and results in creation of statistical model. When given a prompt, Gen AI uses this statistical model to predict what an expected response might be, and this generates new content. Generative AI models. Generative language models, then we have generative image models. Generative language models learn about patterns in language through training data. Then given some text, they predict what comes next. And in the generative image models, we have generative image models produce new images using techniques like diffusion. Then given a prompt or related imagery, they transform random noise into images or generate images from prompts. Types of generative AI based on data. So when the input is image and we can have output as text or image or a video. So it could be when the output is text, it could be visual question answering. When the output is image, it could be image completion, or when the output is video, it could be an animation. Types of generative AI based on data. So when the input is text, the output could be text, which could be translation, summarization, question answering, or grammar correction. When the output is image, it could be image generation or video generation. When the output is audio, it could be text to speech. And when the output is decisions, it could mean play games. Generative language models learn about patterns in language through training data. Then, given some text, they predict what comes next. The power of generative AI comes from the use of transformers. Transformer has an encoder and a decoder. Encoder encodes the sentence, and decoder decodes it. But sometimes it runs into problems and causes hallucinations. Hallucinations are words or phrases that are generated by the model that are often nonsensical or grammatically incorrect. So, what are the challenges of hallucinations? When do hallucinations happen? When the model is not trained on enough data, the model is trained on noisy or dirty data, the model is not given enough context, or the model is not given enough constraints. Prompt design. The quality of the input determines the quality of the output. So what is a prompt basically? If you have used any of the image models, image generating AI models, you must be aware of the prompts. Basically, it's the text or the image description that we give to the AI model so that it produces a similar kind of text or image that we want. So now let's talk a little bit about the model types available when text is an input. So text-to-text models take a natural language input and produce text output. These models are trained to learn the mapping between a pair of text. For example, translation from one language to another language. And you can see the applications like classification. They can be used for summarization, translation, extraction, and content editing. Uh, then we have text to image models. Text to image models are relatively new and are trained on a large set of images, each captioned with a short text description. Diffusion is one such method used to achieve this. The applications are image generation and image editing. Then we have text to video and text to 3D model types. Text to video models aim to generate a video representation from text input. The input text can be anything from a single sentence to a full script, and the output is a video that corresponds to the input text. Similarly, text to 3D models generate three-dimensional objects that correspond to a user's text description for use in games or other 3D worlds. So the applications are here are video generation, video editing, and game assets. Then we have text to task model types. Text to task models are trained to perform a specific task or action based on text input. This task can be a wide range of actions such as answering a question, performing a search, making a prediction, or taking some sort of action. For example, text to task model could be trained to navigate web UI or make changes to a doc through the GUI. The applications could be software agents, virtual assistants, or automation. So we have different types of data, text, image, speech, structured data, and 3D signals trained into a foundation model and which can perform various tasks like question answering, sentiment analysis, formation extraction, information extraction, image captioning, object recognition, and instruction following. If you're looking for foundation models, Vertex AI has a model garden which includes language foundation models and vision foundation models. Language foundation models like Palm API for chat and for text, and vision foundation models like Stable Diffusion, which produces images from text. So we have seen how foundation models can help, and can generative AI applications help in code generation for the task that we want to perform? Absolutely. Here, if we look at this diagram we see that code generation is one of the tasks that it can perform. So, if I want to convert Pandas data frame, which I have, to a JSON file, I can do it using BART code generation. So, I have a Pandas data frame with two columns, one with the file name and one with the hour in which it was generated. So, I'm trying to convert it to a JSON file with the following format. How can I do this? In the BART code generation can help you debug your lines of source code, explain your code to you line by line, translate code from one language to another, and generate documentation and tutorials for source code. So BART code generation can help you debug your lines of source code, explain your code to you line by line, translate code from one language to another, and generate documentation and tutorials for source code.